for undocumented students. And hope you all
we do the
Senator Wong.
Okay, so the 2,500 is 1,000 comes from OSL. 1,000 comes from OSL, which is it's the worth of paying CSOs, paying for the light generation and the losses for amphitheater, and the other 1,500 comes from RHA, which is to pay for food, I believe. The food for the luau, and it's and it's food for the performers.
What was your name?
Jessica?
Thank you. Any more discussion? Senator Mondo.
Members of the Budget and Finance Committee expressed concern that whereas number 7 says that that it exceeds the ICC funding limit for a small ticket item. I heard that they ended up missing the big ticket item meeting. We were concerned about why they missed the meeting and how that affects the club.
Any more discussion? Senator Zisser.
I had a question for Agnes about the deficit that Ken talked about, and like maybe how we can avoid another deficit in the future, and what they plan to do to avoid that.
Senator Wong.
So I wasn't here on the deficit part, but I do recognize that last year they tried to come to Senate to ask for money, but it found we had trouble with the funding. So if you guys don't know, last year we didn't have any money, so we ended up like freezing our accounts and certain things happened. And then a part of why that budget looks like that, we need to ask for additional is because they only anticipated asking for a really small amount. So when the Senate didn't have money last year.
Senator Jones.
Okay, so they said that 800 is going to food, but then another 1,500 is going to food.
So to clarify that, so food is one of our focuses this year, which is why it's on fiscal as well as RHA. So the thing is, last year we gave out food for free. This is a free open event to the public as well as our Merced community. Since the food went out really quick, this year we're trying to provide food via Sam's Cafe. We're planning to cater for the luau and also have our COs fundraise as well. That way, all the food this year will be revenue for these clubs and community revenue. Going for RHA is also to supply food for our members. Last year, since all the food went out, our members and guest performers didn't have food to receive during the time of the event.
Any more discussion? Senator Jones.
I'd like to yield the floor to Steve.
I just wanted to say point of information. I heard Zach say, Senator Mondo say that about ICC big ticket, small ticket. They're not eligible for ICC funds for this event. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that because you all wrote into the bylaws last year that they can't double dip. So they have a line and we can't go to ICC for anything.
I was concerned about committee, but that's clarifies it.
Okay. Any more discussion? More discussion. Boo. Senator Jones.
Well, I think one thing to consider is that we speak a lot about a lack of communication and a lack of sense of community with the UC Merced campus and the Merced community. And I don't know how many of you personally attended this event last year. There were tons of not only students but members from the community. So that I think that just speaks to the magnitude of what this event is capable of doing. So that is one thing that you want to do, that you want to keep in mind. And sometimes it's not fair to punish a club for what their executives did before them. If they didn't account for costs, we can't punish them for that. So that's also something to consider.
Senator Wong.
Also want to make a note that originally Ohana wanted to ask for a lot more to get a special performer from another country to come to this event, but because they were taking into account how much we actually have and they don't want to basically take over a majority of the remaining funds so other clubs can also utilize the remaining funds. That's why the bill was significantly reduced. Now on that note, like Dominic said, I want to make note that if you did not attend last year's, the Vice Chancellor were there also. So this is a large scale event, definitely one of those bigger ones IBC Merced.
Any discussion? Senator Zisser.
I just have a question. Is there any way we could lower the costume cost at all, or is that the base?
discussion? Okay, we're moving to a vote. All those in favor of approving bill number 70, please raise your hands and keep them up high. Senator Gray, Senator Jones, Senator Prado, Senator Rosenberg, Senator Daniels, Senator T, Senator Zisser, Senator Mondo, Senator Wong, Senator Taylor, and Senator Brown. All those opposed? Senator Heat, any abstentions? Bill 70 passes. So, new business, bill number 71, SAL funding introduced by Senator Mondo.
I move to send bill number 71 to committee of the whole.
Okay, there's been a motion to send bill number 71 to committee of the whole. Is there a second? Senator Daniel?
A second.
Second by Senator Daniel. Any discussion? Senator Mondo?
Again, moving to committee of the whole because, well, it worked better for their club if it actually, if it was passed or if it was voted on tonight, rather. Technically, it can't wait till next week, but we're gonna have that incredibly long meeting, and so it's best if we do it tonight. That's all I'd say.
More discussion? Anyone opposed to moving into committee of the whole? Okay, right now, bill number 71 has been built, right? You said the bill. Senator Mondo?
I moved down to committee of the whole.
Okay, there's been a motion to move into committee of the whole. Senator Daniel?
A second.
Second by Senator Daniel. Any discussion? Anyone opposed? Okay, Senator Mondo?
I'm gonna yield to Senator Gray. This is his project in mind.
Alrighty, guys, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing fine. There's a question which is down, but alright, guys. So I want everyone to know and understand that this bill is much larger than the money being requested. That they're asking for $9,829. This bill has a higher value and an even larger benefit. This bill will not only help undocumented students, but also bring some light to the immigration topic we're facing this year and in the preceding years. As this bill details some of the attendees you already know, in particular Janet Napolitano. I don't have to stress enough how much bad publicity she's been getting from some of our sister campuses as well as the state of California. Having her here will demonstrate not only her support for undocumented students, but her interest in UC Merced. Now, I don't have to stress enough how much this club has already done. I think one of the representatives did enough saying some of the stuff they've accomplished since their inception in November. And I definitely want to open the floor to some of the comments you guys might have.
Senator Zisser?
So one concern I have, well, I love the fact that because of DREAM Act, we can have undocumented students get higher education. But one way that colleges compete is by the jobs that the students leaving the school get. So, some employers rather have a Harvard student than maybe UC Merced student, but eventually UC Merced might get up to that point where employers want us more than the other school. And I just have a concern, if we spend a lot of investment on undocumented students, how do they get into the job market? Because I know that because of the DREAM Act, they can get into the college market, but I don't know how that works getting into the job market, if that's still illegal. Or,
Senator Daniel?
To my knowledge, there's special permits for undocumented students. Well, undocumented students that graduate university actually be able to work as a graduate and then as a graduate.
Thank you. I mean, from many of the meetings that I've had, the answer to it is that it's a struggle and it's hard and it's very difficult. And the point is, though, when you look decades back, undocumented students in California had no rights and weren't attending colleges and they weren't able to drive and they had all these things holding them back. And slowly but surely, pieces of legislation have removed restriction by restriction by restriction, allowing them to drive, allowing them to be able to attend school, allowing them to get more financial aid, and various things moving forward. And that's something we haven't really seen as much on the nationwide level, but California's been moving forward. So there is obviously still issues, and this is why this is such an important issue. Obviously, we haven't solved all of those problems, but it's going in that direction. And undocumented students, I think, as a sanctuary system, which is very unique, that protects our undocumented communities on campus. We don't have any deportation, stuff like that. It's going on, and we really try to nurture that community. It's important to try and continue moving that forward. So this helps provide a lot of scholarships for students that might have trouble getting jobs. They're able to then get scholarships to supplement their college tuition and the fees and books and stuff that you and me and a lot of other students may be able to get financial aid for. So it's all about it's moving in the right direction.
Any more discussion? Senator Jones?
So on the bill, so under the list of guests, have all those guests actually confirmed that they're coming?
That answer that's a great question. I asked that question myself. I don't know if they finalized everything already. I know these are a lot of the people that they wanted to bring. I would definitely yield the floor to one of the members.
What was the question?
She asked all the set list that you guys that we have in the bill. All those gonna come. All those attendees gonna show up. Or are they maybes?
There are more than likely. To begin, Janet Napolitano I spoke with her last semester when she visited UC Merced. I was honored to be one of the students chosen to sit with her and meet her. And I told her about our event that we were gonna have, recognizing undocumented students with scholarships. And she said she'll gladly be here. On top of that, we are gonna be the first organization that supports undocumented students and consisted of allies to invite her to a UC. There's no other UC out there that is gonna do this right now. So just by that, it's almost 100% sure she'll be here. So we're the first.
Any more discussion? Senator Brown?
I don't want to say that, but I don't like the fact that people came into this playing favorites. I don't like the fact that people came in looking at this bill playing favorites. Honestly, it's not that I hate what they're doing, it's that I dislike the fact that because there's, power players and there's big names on it, we all get starstruck and you're willing to support something when you wouldn't have supported the exact same thing. You wouldn't have supported another bill in the same situation, yet with this one you play favorites on that. I don't hate the substance of it, I just hate the fact that we're skirting rules because we seem to with this one over something else.
Senator Mondo?
We aren't skirting any rules, and we're not playing favorites, I believe. They came to Budget and Finance. They gave us a very long, very detailed presentation. They explained to us why they believed it to be worth funding. They gave us every reason possible to support them. They had great answers to all of our questions, and they ended up getting approval from Budget and Finance to be able to get the funding, even though they're a first-year organization. And every first-year organization has the right to petition Budget and Finance to be able to get a special case fund. Most organizations don't. They actually had the help of knowledge of the bylaws to be able to do that, because they know that this would be beneficial to our campus. So I don't think we're playing favorites. They're going to be bringing great people here. It's going to look great for the school. It's going to look great for them. And they're going to be serving a section of the student population who doesn't have access to certain amounts of money that most of us are able to see from the federal government that they can't. So yeah, this isn't favorites. I believe they're doing something great. I believe they're bringing great people. And every organization does have the right to try and get ASUCM funding if they're a first organization. They just have to go through the extra stuff that they managed to get through. They went to Budget and Finance, they got approval.
Senator Heath?
I think Adam Brown does have a very good point. Of course, we have to admit we do get starstruck. But in this case, I think that given the special circumstances, of the UC and our school at this point and the great networking that the executive director has done, I think that this special exception would be good. That is a very good point. I think that you made a good point, but I think this is a special circumstance.
Senator Zisser?
I like that. I like what they're doing. I like everything. I just think in terms of the money, I think $6,076 is a lot for an award ceremony. We've had other clubs come to us for like an award ceremony banquet thing. Like one club came to us last year for $1,000 for like 3 times as many people for the same award ceremony, recognizing the importance of students and how they overcame things in this religious club. And we shut that down immediately. We thought it was too much. And I don't know why the 6,000 seems like a lot for only 160 students for just free.
Discussion? Senator Jones?
Like piggybacking off of what Senator Brown said, is that we have to realize you were like, oh, we set precedents, but when this other club did come to us and they were first year, we didn't give them funding because of the fact that they weren't established for that full year. But did anyone take the steps to tell this club this is what you can do? I feel like did anyone take the time to say, okay, to this club that came to us before, okay, you can petition for this. I'm pretty sure they would have petitioned because they had to go to extremes last minute trying to get funding for the event because they weren't aware of it because they've been around for less than that time. But I feel like with this, some people went up and out of their way just to get this done. And I was actually asked to help work on this, but my concern was that they weren't established for that 1 year. So that's just my thought on it.
Senator Gray.
I hear a lot about that. Everybody seems to be complaining about that 1 year thing, and I know it's in our bylaws and it's there and it's something that we should follow. But we also have the special case fund, and we're using that to our power, and because we can, because the club can. It's not about playing favorites. No one's playing favorites. I think this issue is bigger than the club. That's what my belief is. I think it's a lot larger than them, and it's a lot larger than us, and that's why we're doing it. We did it for the African American diaspora. We want to bring up things. It was something much larger, and we did it. And it was for $40,000, and I swear to you, there was not more than 160 people in that event. So we did it for them, and I think we could do it for these guys because they're both great events that were bigger than the clubs themselves. I'm not looking at the club. I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the impact it's going to make for the future and for future undocumented students. And to answer his question, you know, you had some comments about no, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
Senator Mondo.
You know, I understand why the 1 year rule is there. It's obvious that many clubs that are brand new don't know the proper channels to go through to get funding, the rules you have to go through, and also many on-campus organizations and departments may not actually know who's actually requesting the funding or what kind of support they have. I had concerns about this club at first, we've been in budget and finance as well. They allayed those concerns. They did hit a few roadblocks, but they managed to overcome them. And they did it with a lot of, they did have help, they did. But that's because I think the people that helped them saw that they were doing this for a good cause. They may not have been here that long, but they have worked incredibly hard in order to be able to make sure they understand the rules, they're going through the right process, and that they can actually get support from us. Because they've gone as far as they can go without our support. They need our help now to be able to get this done. So I think it's a noble cause, and I think that they've proven that though they haven't been here for a year, they definitely put in the effort to attempt to understand the system like a little organization has. And they've stumbled a few times, they've gone right back up and moved forward.
Senator Zisser.
I like to make an amendment to just cut down it says $25 per plate on the food portion. I want to cut that down to $15 per plate.
Do you accept?
I don't accept, unfortunately. Cutting down a plate, it's already a preset thing. So to cut somebody's meal, I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but cutting a plate, that's an entire plate.
Is there a second? Oh yeah, so do you?
I'm in agreement with me, I do not accept. I'd like to give a vote, but.
Is there a second? It doesn't go to a vote then. Any more discussion? Senator Taylor?
Well, have they put any of their own money towards the event?
Senator Gray?
The bill, when it first came to me, the bill was for $11,000, and I think they've done a fantastic job to cut it down. I did talk to them before the meeting, and they were trying their best to even cut it further down by the time the meeting started, and I think this is the final price that they have. So.
Senator Taylor?
Well, then what is that $2,000 that they cut down? What is that going towards?
That, I'm not sure what it's going to go for. I don't know if they've adjusted, I don't know if they just canceled some of the stuff that they were going to do, or if it's coming out of their own pocket.
Senator Heath?
Can they answer?
Is the 10% rule going to be applied to this bill? Because we discussed that in committee.
Senator Gray?
I was going to get to that. I was actually going to make the friendly amendment to cut it myself. I'd like to see $700 cut from this bill.
Do you accept?
Yes, I do. I'd rather not say
That's not up there. So how much is it?
Out of the 9,829 takeaways, $700 for that.
Any more discussion? Senator Zisser?
I can go for President Brandon. Just on what Senator Jones, answered, I just find it very confusing. This went through a legal process. You can find this in our bylaws. This is completely allowed. And that this group approached me and Balthazar and asked, how can we be able, this is a restriction, how can we be able to get past that? What is something we can do? What are our tools? What are our options? And that is something that any organization can do, is ask how to get through that stuff. And I'm more than happy to help them. So the organization asked that, we provided answers to be able to do it. They went through the appropriate process. And I would hate to see a no vote for an organization that used an official process because the senator didn't know about the process being in the financial bylaws for another organization that asked for funding. I think that's a really weird situation to be in. This is an impacted community at UC Merced and in the UC system and in the nation. And that's something that as associate students, I think we have to recognize that this community does have unique traits, and that's why it's also very special. And the last part is that this, as Gustavo mentioned, is a big win for our campus. For the ASUCM, you look at the university leadership. Perhaps this is not your priority at the university, but this is something that the people that make the power play of the university, that make the decisions, are really looking at. This is something that the other associated students are looking at. This is something that will really help in everything we're trying to do and everything we're trying to accomplish on campus. So I hope that you do support this this bill and don't use the fact that someone didn't offer that at the table to a previous organization as a reason to deny this organization funding for an event they worked very hard for.
More discussion? Senator Gray?
I don't know if I have to rescind my motion or he does we're gonna fix the 10%. It's actually supposed to be $829. Was it nine? You guys, oh, it's $982.
Rescind your motion. Yeah, rescind it. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much is that?
Make it even 9,000.
9,000. And you accept?
Yeah.
Any more discussion? Senator Mondo?
I move to exit committee of the whole.
There's been a motion to exit out of the committee of the whole. Is there a second? Senator Daniel?
Second.
Don't worry, guys. I have the bill right here. I'm updating it right now. Yeah. Is there a second? Any discussion? Anyone opposed? Okay, we're now out of committee of the whole. Senator Mondo?
I move that we approve bill number 71.
There's been a motion to approve bill number 71. Is there a second? Senator Daniel?
A second.
Second by Senator Daniel. Any discussion? Senator Mondo?
I can understand your concerns, but I don't think your concerns are important to know that they've gone through the proper channels. The channels are there and have existed in the bylaws for quite a while. Our bylaws are pretty dense, but that's no reason not to deny someone that right because you didn't know that was there. In the end, they're trying really hard to do this that's been established here. They're doing an excellent job this event. They're bringing some good names, and the good names aren't the reason why I'm going to vote yes on this. It's what this cause is actually supporting. It's part of a greater movement, I think. And so, what you're voting for, yeah, it's food. It's for a banquet. It's for recognition of people. But it's also trying to do a service to a population that isn't adequately served by our governments. It's trying to do, or by the federal government when it comes to aid. It's trying to bring attention to that cause, and it's trying to bring a lot of big names here to also further that cause. So I honestly say I don't think any of you have any reason to vote no. If you want to see more cut, that's one thing, but the event should go on.
Any more discussion? Senator Heath?
I think Zach makes a good point, but I'm going to vote yes, but there is a risk that some of the people on this are not going to come. But I think also that's not a reason to vote no.
All those in favor of approving bill 71, please raise your hand. Senator Gray, Senator Prado, Senator Rosenberg, Senator Daniel, Senator Keys, Senator Yee, Senator Mondo, Senator Taylor, Senator Brown. All those opposed? Senator Jones, Senator Visser, Senator Wong. Bill 71 passes. Please turn out to be ready for the public comment.
So the reason I'm sending this bill as the committee of the whole is because a week ago they actually used the online form under the website to submit a bill, but they thought that once they submitted that, all they needed was the senators represented. They didn't know that they needed the senators to actually write a formal bill, so because of that, they actually missed the deadline, so I put them a week behind. And so we want to put this as soon as possible so that we can guarantee that they reserve their place. Motion to feel like this is a really essential part. This is a really essential event for their club because obviously they do this annually, and they're also going they're going as a bonding trip, but it's also a learning experience. They're going to have rangers who will be guiding them around the city, and they're also going to learn ways how can they be more eco-friendly, especially as an organization that's so heavily involved with volunteering in the community.
Aye. We don't. On any discussion, all those in favor on any discussion, please raise your hand. Yeah. Now, all those, okay, all those in favor of moving out of committee of the whole, please raise your hand. Moving unanimously, we're now in this one. Okay, moving number 72 is there a second, Senator Gray? Second by Senator Gray. All those in favor of approving bill number 72, raise your hands and keep them up high. Aye. Senator Jones, Senator Gray, Senator Prado, Senator Rosenberg, Senator Daniels, Senator T, Senator Zisser, Senator Mondo, Senator Wong, Senator Taylor, Senator Brown. All those opposed? Abstentions? Yeah. Okay. So bill number 72 passes. It's like a country tone, huh? Okay, so bill number 73, approval of the ASUCM budget. Senator, I would assume you would do it.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Just
The president.
okay. Senator Daniel. No, Senator Gray. Senator Daniel. What?
I move to, wait, actually.
You just got to approve it, send to committees.
Oh, I move to send bill number 73 to all committees.
And then motion to send bill number 70. Senator President Brandon.
Thank you. So one thing is that this is a budget of, I don't know, we didn't count, but last year's 156 line items. This will take a while to go through line by line and answer questions. I don't want to have to be able to go, like, have Ken and myself go to 4 separate committee meetings and do a 2-hour thing for the budget 4 times this week, and then come back to the table and have an extremely long budget meeting. I think it's much more fair for the Senate to try and attend a budget and finance meeting. Its purpose is the budget, and then we're able to present there and answer all questions of the Senate at that time, work on it, and then come back. So I would suggest putting it to budget and finance only. I think if you send it to all committees, even if they try to attend budget and finance, they won't then. They will attend the other committees and just read through it on their own and have either misconceptions or not ask questions, and then we're going to wind up with another 9-hour meeting this year. As much as I kid about it, I really don't want that to happen.
Senator Daniel.
Just, I mean, honestly, it's since all committees, we can just, ask everyone to show up to the meeting. It's our job to understand what we're voting on. If we have to go to 2 committee meetings just to understand it, then there shouldn't really be any problem. But I think because there may be other committees that meet before budget finance, that senators have the ability to look over the actual document before going to budget finance to ask questions for clarification. So this is only in mind with knowing that active affairs meets at 8 a.m. tomorrow, so we'll be able to read over and come to the actual committee meeting with questions.
There's never really a motion made, so. And there's nobody to second. There's never a second, and it just kind of pointed it into him because he has something to say. Is there any motions? Okay, is there a second then to that motion? Senator.
Second.
Good. Seconded. Now discussion. Senator Brown.
I mean, I feel like there's not going to be quality discussions at any other meeting other than budget and finance anyway. So you might as well just send it there, make it easier on the president and the treasurer. Read it over on your own, because basically that's what's gonna happen. Our meetings are an hour tomorrow because Marisol has to go to class and so honestly, we can't. I'm not gonna even if we went through line by line, even if we like skipped over a lot of stuff, which would be bad, we wouldn't be able to go through it all tomorrow.
Senator Mondo.
Guarantee that.
Okay, so, how many people here can make it to a budget and finance meeting tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the A corner? How many? Please raise your hand quickly. I'll make this fast. All right. 30 minutes. All right. Well, I'm going to be late. I don't. Very few of my members can actually make it on time, so I can say that. All right. Look, I prefer it didn't go to every committee, but the fact is, not everyone can make it to my meeting tomorrow, so it's easier to send it to all committee. The main discussion occurs in budget and finance. Above that, we won't finish in time because for many reasons, I have to prepare for right after that, and so does Ivan, I guess. So, I mean, the budget and finance meeting will run long, but it will be cut short anyway. So it's best to send it to all committees. Budget and finance will be the second time we come back from break to go over it anyway. So,
Senator.
you'll look forward to 10 as well.
I would suggest that most likely that there should be you should have your regular standard meetings that you're going to have, like if your meetings are the rest of the Thursday or Friday. But then when we get back from break, Monday or Tuesday, you guys either your committees have a second meeting to continue the discussion about the budget, because I think I'm hoping that over spring break, when I send you the minutes and the recordings, you guys can go over those, listen to those, get an understanding of what these clubs are asking for. And also, is how we then, at first, I think the first committee meetings you guys will have, we will more like, okay, here's the overview, here's a basic idea of it, and I'm hoping the second committee meetings we'll have when we get back from break, we can be more thorough discussion. Those will be the more longer 2 to 3 hour committee meetings, so then we don't have to have a long Senate meeting. I'm hoping that, you know, if there are certain concerns that are brought during those committee meetings that we can't solve there, that we can't, as senators and me and the president can resolve there, those are the issues we'll bring back. We'll have the whole Senate decide at the table during that meeting, and hopefully then it'll go, instead of 9 hours, it'll just be like 4 hours.
Senator Wong?
It makes a lot of sense for us to send this to all the committees because everything that goes through Senate, a majority of it has to do with money. If everything just goes through finance, it doesn't make any sense. And all of those, I think the more discussion the better, but we restrain ourselves from only having it at one committee.
Senator Jones?
And I think another thing to consider, our committee meetings are usually an hour, and this is the only thing we have to discuss, so it really shouldn't be an issue discussing it. And we just, like as Kim said, we should make the necessary meetings after that to continue that discussion, which of course won't be finished within that one span of an hour.
Senator Zisser?
Thank you. I agree with Ken. Perhaps sending it to all committees would be a valuable thing, but I think, and what my suggestion would be in Robert's rules, is having a senator create an ad hoc committee for Monday or Tuesday. It will only have to meet once, but have everybody at the table that would like to attend that would attend to be able to raise their hand and show up to something like that. That way you have to be able to attend that. It's not so much that the Senate's going to be discussing that, is Ken and I want to make sure we're able to answer your questions, but this has been a really long process, and being able to go 2 hours to each one of those committees and then come back to the committee here, I think is not very efficient, and it takes a lot of the burden and puts it pretty much just on me and Ken. So I think perhaps reading it in all those committees and then bringing all those questions to an ad hoc committee that's motion on the table would be a really good thing, something Monday or Tuesday.
Discussion. Any more discussion? Are you guys ready to move to a vote then? If nobody's gonna talk? Okay, so we're gonna move to a vote then. All those in favor of sending bill number 73 to all committees, please raise your hands and keep them up high. Approved unanimously. Okay, Senator Daniel?
I move to create an ad hoc committee for the budget review.
Okay, there's been a motion to create an ad hoc committee for the budget review. Is there a second? Okay, motion dies. Please continue. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, announcements. Okay, we're now at announcements. Senator Gray?
I know I told you guys I was going to invite some of the representatives from TAPS, but I canceled that. Instead, I'm going to wait till we're done with the budget stuff, so we can have so we can give them a little more time so they can speak on some of the issues that TAP faces. I'm almost done generating some of the questions that I asked them, some of the responses to them. So you'll see that on Facebook soon. I'm actually working with Jared Scissor right now to figure out some of the stuff. He's doing some research on some of the departments here on campus to see how they're trying to spread the information to students about some of the regulations that TAP has. So yeah, we'll keep up to you guys as progress moves on.
Senator Mondo?
Two things. Firstly, in relay President Brandon's concerns, I will, create a doodle for all of you guys as welcome to a special budget finance meeting, so we can save some time to other committees. We'll try to make it work. Technically, if I do call the meeting, only members of my committee are supposed to show up, but I appreciate that all of you showed up, so we can get this done pretty fast. That way our actual Senate meeting is fairly short. Also, debate tomorrow. Ivan's moderating. I guess the entire Republican state team's in here, how many Democrats are. Yeah, those two over there, that guy, the former IVP, and that dude, 2 people down from him. Yeah. So I'm on Zoom too. What time's it again, Ivan?
7:30?
Yeah, that.
7? 7. I'll be moderating.
Someone else say what time it is because you didn't get it right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
7.
7.
Well, according to the Facebook.
California room?
Yeah.
You guys didn't say California room?
Crescent Orange.
Crescent Orange. Half dome.
Yeah, that.
Senator Zisser?
I'd like to announce all senators. For Senator California, I'm going to make a Facebook page for the budget, just so if we have issues, instead of like just messaging each other, we can just hash it out on like just the 16 of us, or I guess not, the 12 of us, on a Facebook page, so we can discuss it in depth.
announcements? Senator Mondo.
Our elections commissioner, head elections commissioner would like to remind us that the candidate info sessions are at 4:30 in the Bobcat layer. In the bylaws for running for, if you're a candidacy, you must show up unless you designate a designate.
Designated proxy.
Designated proxy, that's it.
Proxy. Any more announcements? Senator Daniel.
In light of, I'm seeking anyone that wants to collaborate with the Dining Service Board to be one of the interviewers. I plan to have interviews with all the higher management of Dining Services. We have our nation outreach commissioner doing the first interview with the director. I was wondering if you would be interested to actually be one of the interviewers. So if you're interested, email me. Basically, you'll be broadcast online. We'll be asking questions to more specific members of the management team.
Any more announcements? Okay, so Senator Mondo, we are now out of announcements. Okay, I'll tease you now. Senator Brown.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Senator second.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
Yay,
So guys,